Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so welcome back. 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm peeking at the clock. You know how it goes. It's over there for some reason. But welcome back. Good to have you on this Monday. I know how it goes on Mondays, particularly if it's raining. We had lots of rain yesterday. So if you're wondering what I'm holding in my hand here, it's the latest release from Mario Herbert. This one is called Sha'Tanya. Now, I don't know anybody named Sha'Tanya, but Sha'Tanya sounds like a young girl having a good time. That uniform and everything. So welcome back, Mario. You're an author with, very interesting eye, a multifaceted author, really. And, you love real life, especially in the Caribbean. So your books are filled with color and experiences, and they're fueled by great fiction, but I would imagine some of Caribbean life as well. Because just looking at, the imagery here, it is so amazing looking. So let's start at the beginning, because you now have five books. That's an amazing feat. So congratulations. So tell me where you started with these stories.
Okay, so what would have happened is that I did a writer's workshop in 2007, and in order to pass this workshop, I needed to submit a short story. So the short story was handed in, everyone loved it, and asked, what am I going to do with it? That ended up becoming Adrian at Large. It took me until 2019 to really say, okay, I have a work that is great, I can make it greater if I just add more on it. And details just kind of tell themselves after that and lead to a larger world. Right.
Oh, that's excellent. So talk to me about the story itself without giving too much away, because we want people to read. But tell me how this story came to you.
So Sha'Tanya, she started as a character in the Adrian books. And yeah, she was one of those characters that was just enjoyable because she's so Barbadiana. If there is a word Barbadians say the wrong way, you can be sure she says it the wrong way. So she is a horse spittle kind of girl, so she was so enjoyable to write that it reached a point where she wrote herself. In any given scene, in any given situation, I already knew exactly what she would say. So I had created like a backstory of how she got like where she is, and it was never really something that was fully expounded in the Adrian books. So it kind of made sense to let us take this really snarky, confident Barbadian bashment school girl and let's humanize her and let's show you the person behind the snark and what really causes that. So she's just turned 13 years old. And like most of us, when we hit our teenage years, she's kind of now transitioning to become a grown-up, but isn't there yet. She isn't a child, and she doesn't want to be seen as a child. So she has to now navigate how exactly do I be seen like as a more mature person, even though I'm not fully grown up. Where exactly do I draw lines where I am still part child but part grown? And that leads her in some fairly interesting and at times dangerous adventures where she doesn't figure out where she should draw the line and fall back. Right.
Well, what do you hope these books can do for Barbadian youth, Caribbean youth, that at large, no pun intended? But what do you think being able to open a book and see people who sound and look like them and stories that they might be familiar with. What do you think that can do for young people reading these stories?
It can be very empowering to be able, firstly, to see yourself in what you read, but then also the life lessons that are contained. There are three short stories in every book, and the aim is always to bring out some lesson that either myself or folks that I know would have learned the hard way, make those lessons entertaining. But in you being entertained, I am hoping that I am able to actually save somebody from having to learn certain things the hard way. Right? So yes, please, life
Just a
lessons.
different way of teaching. I love
Yes.
that. So, can we look forward to seeing Sha'Tanya and Adrian and many of the other characters on the
Yes.
screens sometime soon?
Well, yes, we are working upon that already in scripting mode. So yes, I have great ambition for where these characters are able to end up, and I fully anticipate that you will be seeing them in other formats soon.
I really love that you said Sha'Tanya is a hospital kind of girl. So funny. In the introduction, this is the story of Sha'Tanya Carter, a gel abusing, street smart 13-year-old girl first introduced in the Adrian series of books. She was first seen in Adrian at Large and formally introduced by the name in Adrian at Large. She went on to play a major role in the rest of the series, but now it's time for Sha'Tanya to take center stage. Intriguing adventures and painful lessons await you in the stories that follow, which all predate the events of the Adrian series. So talk to me about that, because this now is the prequel, which is so interesting. I think it adds such great dimension, because we talk about the Adrian at Large series and we hear about the characters there, but here you are with this character Sha'Tanya, and what the stories you're telling about her even start before the
Yes.
stories we see in the Adrian at Large book.
Yes. So I like to challenge myself as a writer to step into territory I haven't yet done. So having a female protagonist, and then telling stories that will go concurrently with what you have already read, that will kind of weave in, and I can show you things here that, even though it doesn't require you to read Adrian, when you read Adrian at Large now, there are things here that kind of add context and make the world richer as a result. So as we continue with her series, there will end up then being books that are literally running concurrently with other books, and I could then show you events that line up, but you're kind of at times seeing the same event from a totally different perspective.
All right, that's excellent stuff. Talk to me about the illustrations. I mean, this is so vivid. The colors are so beautiful. It truly depicts Barbadian
Yes.
school life. There's a bus. Let me see, to city stop. Yeah, so school. She's going to or from school. I don't know. But the van. Oh my goodness. The van is B1500, and at the bottom it has pure roughness. It's going to South Sea Village, and it has turbulence on the top. Look at that. This is just so funny just to even see it. Talk to us about the illustrations.
Yes, please. So our culture is fantastic, and therefore it was important for me to capture Barbadiana on every cover. So I was able to find a fantastic artist by the name of Jeremy Marshall, that anything I throw at him, he is able to draw, and we painstakingly use real life reference. So if we are having a van that is on the cover, everything about how it is represented must be accurately Barbadian. Even the acme on it, it must be painstakingly accurate. You know.
All right, wonderful stuff. I want to thank you so much, Mario. Go out and get the book, people.